What's going on, family? Good morning. Shalom. I'm back with another video, and um, I apologize for the video that I just posted the other day, being cut off at the end. I had got a phone call at the end, very end of the video, so it cut the video short. I also have another video that I wanted to post. It was like an hour long, and it got cut off like halfway through the video um, because of storage issues on my phone. So that video is like 50 minutes long, and it literally starts in the middle of me reading scripture. So the beginning of the video is completely cut off, and I honestly don't remember how I started that video off, which is why I haven't posted that video. But since it's like 50 minutes long, I still might post it and see how it turns out. I have to watch the video and see if it's any information on that video that I want to actually post, upload to YouTube. So with that being said, like I said, I'm back with another video, and today, okay, I want to say probably like a few weeks ago to a month ago, I posted a video or uploaded a video about the apocalypse of Elijah. And I told you guys there are many books dealing with the prophets that are apocalyptic books. So I don't remember if the apocalypse of Elijah is in the lost books of the Bible or in the Pseudopegripha, but I know that the apocalypse of Thomas and the apocalypse of Abraham is in the pseudepigrapha. So that's exactly what this video is going to be about today. I'm going to read from the apocalypse of Abraham and possibly get into the apocalypse of Thomas. But yeah, how you guys feeling, man? It's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. We still in the middle of this pandemic. The end of the year is quickly approaching. The presidential elections are still going on, despite what people might think. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. And it seems like things aren't getting better, things are getting worse. But we know for a fact that we are in the end time. So we just have to stay prayed up, stay in tune, and communicate it with the Most High, or stay in communication with the Most High. Um, just keep your heads up. That's all I can really say. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead get into the apocalypse of Abraham. Apocalypse of Abraham, the son of Terah, the son of Nahor, the son of Serug, the son of Reu, the son of Arphaxad, the son of Shem, the son of Noah, the son of Lamech, the son of Methuselah, the son of Enoch, the son of Yared Arad. On the day when I planned the wooden gods of my father Terah and the gods of Nahor his brother, when I was searching as to who the actual mighty God is, I Abraham, at the time when it fell to my lot, when I fulfilled the services of my father Terah to his gods of wood, stone, gold, silver, brass, and iron, and having entered their temple for service, I found the I found the god whose name was Merumoth, hewn out of stone, fallen forward at the feet of the iron god Nahom. When I saw it, I was confused and considered that I would not be able to bring him back to his place. I, Abraham, alone, because he was heavy, being a large stone. So I went and made it known to my father. He entered with me, and when both of us moved the God forward, so that we could put him back in his place, his head fell off while I was still holding him by the head. When my father saw that Merumoth's head had fallen off, he said to me, Abraham. I said, here I am. He said, bring me an axe of the small ones from the house. I brought it to him. He hewed another Merumoth out of another stone without a head, and he placed the head which had fallen off from Merumoth on it, and he shattered the rest of Merumoth. He made 5 other gods, and gave them to me, and commanded me to sell them outside in the street of the town. I saddled my father's donkey, and placed them upon it, and went to the inn to sell them. And behold, merchants from Fondana in Syria were traveling with camels, going to Egypt to trade. I spoke with them. One of the camels uttered a groan, and the donkey took fright and sprang away and knocked over the gods. 3 of them were smashed, and 2 were preserved. When the Syrians saw that I had gods, they said to me, why didn't you tell us that you had gods? Then we would have bought them before the donkey heard the camel, and they would not have been lost. Give us, at any rate, the gods that remain, and we will pay you the proper price for the broken gods, also for the gods that have been preserved. I had been concerned as to how I could bring my father the purchase price. I had thrown the 3 broken ones into the river Gur, which was at that place, and they sank into the depths, and there was nothing left of them. When I was still traveling, I was confused, and my mind was distracted. I said to myself, what evil deed is this that my father is doing? Shouldn't he be the God of his gods? As they come in, as they come into existence through his chisels and lathes and his wisdom, isn't it fitting that they should worship my father, since they are his work? What is this delusion of my father? Merumoth fell and could not get up in his own temple, nor could I, by myself, move him until my father came, and the 2 of us moved him. As we were too weak, his head fell off him, and my father set it on another stone of another god, which he had made without a head. The other 5 gods were broken in pieces by falling from the donkey. They were unable to help themselves, or to hurt the donkey, because it had broken them to pieces. Not did not did their broken fragments come up out of the river. I said to myself, if this is the case, then how can Merumoth, my father's god, having the head of another stone, and he himself being made of another stone, rescue a man, or hear a man's prayer and reward him? And while I cogitated, cogitated, and while I cogitated thus, I reached my father's house, and having watered the donkey and set out hay for it, I brought the silver and gave it to my father Terah. When he saw it, he was happy, and he said, blessed are you, Abraham, of my gods, because you have brought the price of the gods, so that my work was not in vain. I answered him, listen to me, my father Terah. Blessed are your gods, for you are their God, as you made them. Their blessing is ruination, and their power is vain. They did not help themselves. So then, how can they help you or bless me? I have been kind to you in this affair, because by using my intelligence, I have brought you the money for the broken gods. When he heard what I said, he became furiously angry with me, because I had spoken harshly against his gods. I, however, having fought over my father's anger, left. After I left, my father cried, Abraham! I said, here I am. He said, collect the splinters of the wood out of which I made gods of pine wood before you came, and prepare the food for the midday meal for me. When I collected the splinters of wood, I found under them a little god which had been lying among the brushwood on my left, and on his forehead was written Berisat. I did not tell my father that I had found the wooden god Berisat under the chips. When I had laid the splinters in the fire to prepare food for my father, I went out to ask a question about the food, and I placed Berisat before the kindled fire. I said threatening, I said threateningly to him, "Pay careful attention, Berisat, that the fire does not die down until I come back. If, however, it does dies down, blow on it to burn it up again." I went out and did what I had to do. On returning, I found Berisat falling backwards, and his feet surrounded by fire and horribly burnt. I burst into a fit of laughter and said to myself, "Truly, Berisat, you can kindle the fire and cook food." And as I was saying this and laughing, Berisat was gradually burned by the fire and reduced to ashes. I brought the food to my father, and he ate. I gave him wine and milk, and he was happy and blessed his God Merumath. I said to him, "Father Terah, do not bless your God Merumath, and do not praise him, but instead praise your God Berisat, because, loving you more, he has thrown himself into the fire to cook your food." He asked me, "And where is he now?" I said, "He is burned to ashes from the heat of the fire and is reduced to dust." He said, "Great is the power of Berisat. I will make another one today, and tomorrow he will prepare my food." When I, Abraham, however, heard such words from my father, I laughed in my mind and sighed in the grief and anger of my soul, and said, "How can something he made manufactured statues? I mean, how can something he made manufactured statues help my father? Is the body subject to its soul, the soul to the spirit, and the spirit to folly and ignorance?" I said, "It is fitting once to endure evil, so I will direct my mind to what is pure and lay my thoughts open before him." I answered, "Father Terah, whichever of these you praise as a god, you are foolish. The gods of your brother, Ra, which stand in the holy temple, are more worthy of honor than these of yours. Zuchius, Zukius, the god of your brother Ron, is more worthy of honor than your god Meruma, because he is made of gold, which is highly valued by people. And when he grows old, he will be remolded. But in your god Merumath is changed or broken. He will not be renewed, because he is a stone. This is also the case with the god Yoavan, who stands with Zukius over the other gods. How much more worthy of honor is he than the god Berisat, who is made of wood, while he is forged of silver? How is he made by man valuable? But your god Berisat, before he had been prepared, was rooted in the earth, and was great and wonderful with the glory of branches and blossom. Then you cut him out with the axe, and by your art he has been made into a god. And behold, he is already withered and perished. He has fallen from heights to the ground. He has come from great estate to nothing. His appearance has vanished, and Betersat himself is burned by fire and reduced to ashes and is no more. Then you say, "Today I will make another which tomorrow will prepare my food." He is utterly destroyed. The fire is more worthy of honor than all things formed, because even the man, excuse me. The fire is more worthy of honor than all things formed, because even that which is not subjected is subjected unto it, and things easily perishable are mocked by its flames. The water is even more worthy of honor. because it conquers the fire and satisfies the earth. But even it I do not call the fire god, because it is subjected to the earth under which the water goes. I call the earth much more worthy of honor, because it overpowers the nature of the water. I do not even call the earth God, because it, too, is dried up by the sun and is tilled by man. I call the sun more worthy of honor than the earth, because it lights up the whole world and the different atmospheres with its rays. But even it I do not call it God, because its course is obscured at night and by clouds. Nor, again, do I call the moon or the stars God, because they also in their season obscure their light at night. But hear this, Terah, my father. I will make known to you the God who has made everything. Not these we consider as gods. Who then is he? What is he? He has made the skies crimson, the sun golden, and the moon and the stars lustrous. He has made the earth dry in the midst of many waters, and set you in, and tested me in the confusion of my thoughts. Yet may God reveal himself to us through himself. While I said this to my father, Terah, in the court of my house, the voice of a mighty one came down from heaven in a fiery cloudburst and cried, Abraham, Abraham. I said, Here I am. He said, You are trying to understand the God of gods and the Creator. I am He. Leave your father Terah's house, so that you too will not be killed for the sins of your father's house. I left. No sooner than I left, though, in front of the door of the court, there came a sound of a great thunder, which burned him and his house, and everything in his house, down to the ground, 40 cubits. Excuse me, let me get some water real quick. Then a voice came to me and said twice, Abraham, Abraham. I said, Here I am. He said, Behold, it is I. Do not be afraid. I am before the worlds, and a mighty God who has created the light of the world. I am a shield over you, and I am your helper. Bring me a young heifer, 3 years old, a she goat, 3 years old, a ram of 3 years old, a turtle dove, and a pigeon, and bring me a pure sacrifice. In this sacrifice I will lay before you the future and make known to you what is reserved, and you will see great things which you have not seen previously, because you love to search me out, and I have named you my friend. But abstain from every form of food that comes out of the fire, from drinking wine, and from anointing yourself with oil for 40 days. And then set out the sacrifice which I have commanded you, in the place I will show you, on a high mountain. And there I will show you the ages which have been created and established, made and renewed by my word. And I will make known to you what will come to pass on them who have done evil, and those who have been righteous. Uh, Yeah, that is right. And those who have been righteousness in the generation of men. When I heard the voice of him who said such words to me, I looked here and there, and behold, there was no man, and my spirit was afraid, and my soul fled from me, and I became like a stone, and fell down to the earth as I had no more strength to stand on the earth. While I was still lying with my face upon the earth, I heard the voice of the Holy One saying, Go, Yael, and by means of my indescribable name, raise up that man, and strengthen him so that he recovers from his trembling. The angel who had been sent to me came in the appearance of a man, He grasped me by my right hand and set me up on my feet and said to me, Stand up, Abraham, friend of God who loves you. So do not let the trembling of man seize you. Behold, I have been sent to you to strengthen you and bless you in the name of God who loves you, the creator of the celestial and terrestrial. Be fearless and hurry to him. I am called Yahweh, by him who moves that which exists with me on the seventh expanse on the firmament, a power and virtue of the indescribable name that lives in me. I am the one who has been given to restrain, according to his commandment, the threatening attack of the living creatures of the cherubim against one another, and teach those who carry him the song of the seventh hour of the night of man. I am ordained to restrain the Leviathan, for subject to me are the attack and menace of every single reptile. I am he who has been commissioned to loosen Hades, to destroy him who stares at the dead. I am the one who was commissioned to set your father's house on fire together with him, because he had displayed reverence for the dead. I have been sent to bless you now, and the land which the Eternal One, whom you have invoked, has prepared for you. And for your sake have I made my way upon the earth. Stand up, Abraham. Go without fear. Be happy and celebrate. I am with you. Eternal honor has been prepared for you by the Eternal One. Go, fulfill the sacrifices commanded. Behold, I have been appointed to be with you and with the generation to come from you, and with me, Michael blesses you forever. Be of good cheer. Go. I rose up and saw him who had grasped me by my right hand and set me up on my feet. The appearance of his body was like sapphire. The look of his face was like chrysolite. The hair of his head like snow. The turban upon his head was like the rainbow. And the clothing of his garment was like purple. A golden scepter was in his right hand. He said to me, Abraham. I said, Here I am, your servant. He said, Do not be afraid of how or look or what I say. That's weird. Do not be afraid of how or look or what I say. Do not be anxious. Come with me and I will go with you until the sacrifice, visible, but after the sacrifice, invisible forever. Be of good cheer and come. We went, the two of us together, for 40 days and nights, and I ate no bread and drank no water, because my food was to see the angel who was with me. Excuse me, I'm trying to take a screenshot of this scripture. I actually need to bookmark this page because it's about fasting. And he said he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and he ate no bread and drank no water. So when I fasted for 3 months, which people don't believe I fasted for 3 months, but only my family knows the truth. When I fasted for 3 months, all I drank was water and I ate crackers on occasion, but I mostly drank water. So in this chapter, he says he went with the angel for 40 days and 40 nights, and he ate no bread and drank no water. So he was fasting, but he didn't consume anything at all. He didn't consume any water, any liquid, and he didn't consume any food, including bread. All right, so because my food was to see the angel who was with me, and his speech was my drink, we came to the mount of God, the glorious Oreb. All right, so just to pause for a minute, I was telling people that when I fasted for 3 months, that in the beginning it was hard for me to move past that feeling of hunger. It was hard for me to ignore my appetite because whenever you're hungry, your stomach starts to hurt, right? Whenever your stomach starts to hurt, that means you need to eat. So it's hard for you to ignore that pain in your stomach. But also, if you don't eat after a while, then your head also starts to hurt. So it's also hard to ignore that pain of a headache. But I told people once I finally moved past that pain in my stomach and that pain in my head, that eventually both of those pains went away altogether. And once those pains went away, I no longer had an appetite. I no longer hungered. I no longer had headaches, and I was able to continue with my fast. And what kept me um satisfied or full was the fact that I was reading scripture. Literally, anytime I felt any hint of hunger, I would read scriptures. And after I got done reading the scripture, I was no longer hungry. So the words of the Most High was my food. It wasn't a physical food, it was a spiritual food. I was feeding my soul, I was feeding my spirit. But people don't seem to understand it. They don't seem to believe that. They don't think that it's possible. And the only reason people don't think that it's possible is because subconsciously they don't believe that they have a soul or a spirit. They don't believe that they are spiritual beings inhabiting a physical body. So they let their spiritual bodies starve while they fill up their physical bodies. Now, I'll say this, there are some people that don't have spirits, but they have a soul. And there are some people that don't have souls, but they have a spirit. And there are some people that have neither soul nor spirit. They are just physical beings. But there are also people that have both spirit and soul, and they are spiritual beings. This is a very deep conversation, but I'm not going to get into it right now because I'm supposed to be reading the Apocalypse of Elijah. But I might touch on this subject in another video at a later date. So to continue, he said, we came to the mount of God, the glorious Oreb. I said to the angel, singer of the eternal one, behold, I have no sacrifice with me, nor am I aware of an altar on the mountain. How can I bring a sacrifice? He said to me, look around. I looked around, and behold, there following us were all the prescribed sacrificial animals, the young heifer, the she goat, the ram, the turtle dove, and the pigeon. The angel said to me, Abraham. I said, here I am. He said to me, slaughter all of them and divide the animals into halves, one against the other. But do not sever the birds, but give them to the men whom I will show you, standing by you. For these are the altar, for these are the altar upon the mountain, to offer a sacrifice to the eternal. But give the turtle dove and the pigeon to me, for I will ascend upon the wings of the bird, in order to show you in heaven and on earth, in the sea, in the abyss, in the underworld, in the Garden of Eden, and in its rivers, and in the fullness of the whole world and its circle, you will gaze upon them all. I did everything the angel commanded. and gave the divided animals to the angels who had come to us. But the angel took the birds. I waited for the evening sacrifice. An unclean bird flew down upon the carcasses, and I drove it away. The unclean bird spoke to me and said, "What are you doing, Abraham, on the holy heights, where no man eats or drinks, where there is no food for man, but these consume everything with fire, and will burn you up? Leave the man who is with you and flee. If you ascend to the heights, they will make an end of you." When I saw the bird speak, I said to the angel, "What is this, my Lord?" He said, "This is ungodliness. This is Azazel." He said to it, "Disgrace upon you, Azazel, for Abraham's lot is in heaven, but yours is upon the earth. Because you have chosen and loved this as the abode of you uncleanness. The eternal mighty Lord made you a dweller upon the earth, and through you every evil spirit of lies, and through you angry trials for the generations of ungodly men. For God, the eternal, mighty one, has not permitted that the bodies of the righteous should be in your hand, in order that the life of the righteous and the destruction of the unclean may be assured. Friend, be gone with shame from me. For it has not been given to you to play the one who brings trials to all the righteous. Depart from this man. You cannot lead him astray, because he is an enemy to you, and of those who follow you and love what you do. Behold, the vesture which in heaven was formerly yours has been set aside for him, and the mortality which was his has been transferred to you. The angel said to me, "Abraham." I said, "Here I am, your servant." He said, "Know that from now on the Eternal One has chosen you, he whom you love. Be of good courage, and use this authority, so far as I bid you, against him who slanders the truth. Should I not be able to put to shame the one who has excuse me. Should I not be able to put to shame the one who has scattered the secrets of heaven over the earth and has rebelled against the mighty one? Say to him, be you the burning coal of the furnace of the earth. Azazel, go into the inaccessible parts of the earth, for your heritage is to be over those existing with you, being born with the stars and clouds, with the men whose portion you are, and who exist through your being, and your enmity is justification. For reason of your perdition, disappear from me. I uttered the words which the angel had taught me. He said, Abraham. I said, Here I am, your servant. The angel said to me, Do not answer him, for the Most High has given him power over those who do answer him. The angel spoke to me a second time and said, Do not answer him, no matter how much he speaks to you, so that his will may have no free course in you, because the eternal and mighty one has given him weight and will. Do not answer him. I did as I was told by the angel, and I did not answer him, no matter how much he spoke to me. I answered him nothing whatsoever. When the sun went down, behold, there was a smoke like that of a furnace. The angels who had the portions of the sacrifice ascended from the top of the smoking furnace. The angel took me by the right hand and set me on the right wing of the pigeon, and set himself on the left wing of the turtle dove, the birds which had neither been slaughtered nor divided. He carried me to the word he carried me to the borders of the flaming fire, and we ascended as with many winds to the heaven which was fixed upon the surface. I saw on the air on the height I saw on the air on the height to which we ascended a strong light, which it was impossible to describe. And behold, in this light a fiercely burning fire for people, many people of male appearance, all changing in appearance, running and being transformed, and worshiping and crying with sound of words I did not know. I said to the angel, Why have you brought me up here now? Because I cannot see, for I have already grown weak, and my spirit leaves me. He said to me, Stay by me. Do not be afraid. He whom you see comes straight towards us with a great voice of holiness. That is the eternal one who loves you. Do not let your spirit grow faint from of the loud crying. Do not let your spirit grow faint from the loud crying, for I am with you, strengthening you. Excuse me. While he was speaking, behold, a fire came against us, and in the fire was a voice like a voice of many waters, like the sound of the sea in uproar. The angel bent his head with me and worshipped. I, w- I wished to fall down on the earth in the high place on which we stood. At one moment rose upright, but at another rolled downwards. He said, Abraham, worship and sing the song I taught you. There was no earth to fall upon. I worshiped and sang the song he had taught me. He said, Recite without ceasing. I recited, and he also recited the song with me. Eternal, mighty, holy, El, God, only, supreme. You who are self originated, imperishable, spotless, uncreated, immaculate, immortal, self complete, self illuminating, without father, without mother, unbegotten, exalted, fiery one, lover of men, compassionate, bountiful, jealous over me, and very considerate, Eli, my God, eternal, mighty, holy, Shabbat, very glorious, El, Yahweh. You are he whom my soul has loved, eternal protector, shining like fire, whose voice is like the thunder, who whose look is like the lightning, all seeing, who receives the prayers of those who honor you, and turns away from the request of those who embarrass with their provocations, who dissolves the confusions of the world which arise from the ungodly and righteous in the corruptible age, renewing the age of the righteous. You, light, shine before the light of the morning upon your creatures, so that it becomes day upon the earth. And in your heavenly dwelling places there is no need of any other light, other than that of the unspeakable splendor from the lights of your face. Accept my prayer and be happy with it. Also the sacrifice which you have prepared through me who sought you. Accept me favorably. Show me and teach me, and make known to your servant as you have promised me. While I recite the song, the mouth of the fire, while I recited the song, the mouth of the fire which was on the surface rose on high. I heard a voice like the roaring of the sea. It did not cease on account of the rich abundance of the fire. As the fire raised itself up, ascending into the height, I saw under the fire a throne of fire, and round about it all seeing ones reciting the song, and under the throne four fiery living creatures singing, and their appearance was one, each one of them with four faces. This was the appearance of their faces: of a lion, of a man, of an ox, of an eagle. Four heads were upon their bodies, so that the four creatures had 16 faces, and each had 6 wings from their shoulders, and their sides, and their loins. With the 2 wings from their shoulders they covered their faces, and with the 2 wings which sprang from their loins they covered their feet, while the 2 middle wings they spread out for flying straight forward. When they ended the singing, they looked at one another and threatened one another. When the angel who was with me saw that they were threatening each other, he left me and ran to them and turned the face of each living creature from the face immediately confronting him, in order that they might not see their faces threatening each other. He taught them the song of peace, which has its origin in the Eternal One. As I stood alone and looked, I saw behind the living creatures a chariot with fiery wheels, each wheel full of eyes round about. Over the wheels was a throne which I saw. It was covered with fire, and fire encircled it round about. And behold, an indescribable fire surrounded a fiery host. I heard its holy voice like the voice of a man. A voice came to me out of the middle of the fire. Abraham, Abraham. I said, Here I am. He said, Consider the expanses which are under the firmament on which you are placed. See how there is no one, excuse me, see how there is no one on any expanse except for he whom you sought, who loves you. While he was speaking, behold, the expanses opened, and beneath me the heavens. On the seventh firmament on which I stood, I saw a widely extended fire, light, dew, and multitude of angels, and a power of invisible glory over the living creatures which I saw. I saw no other being there. I looked down from the mountain on which I stood to the sixth firmament, and saw there a multitude of angels, of spirit, without bodies, who carried out the commands of the fiery angels who were on the eighth firmament, as I was standing suspended over them. And behold, on this firmament there were no other powers of any kind, but only angels of spirit, like the power which I saw on the seventh firmament. He commanded that the sixth firmament should be taken away. There I saw on the fifth firmament the powers of the stars, which carry out the commands put on them, and the elements of the earth obeyed them. The eternal mighty one said to me, Abraham, Abraham. I said, Here I am. He said, Consider the stars which are beneath you, and count them for me, and tell me their number. I said, When can I? I am but a man of dust and ashes. He said to me, As the number of the stars and their power, so will I make your seed a nation and a people, set apart for me in my heritage with Azazel. I said, Eternal, mighty one, let your servant speak before you, and do not be angry with your chosen one. Behold, before you lead me up, Azazel bitterly protested against me. How then, while he is not now in front of you, have you established yourself with him? He said to me, Now look beneath your feet at the firmaments, and understand the creation foreshadowed in this expanse, the creatures existing on it, and the age prepared according to it. I looked beneath the surfaces of the feet, and I saw underneath the sixth heaven and what was in it, and the earth and its fruits, and what moved upon it and its animate beings, and the power of its men, and their ungodliness, and their righteous deeds, and the beginnings of their works, and the lower regions, and the damnation therein, the pit and its torments. I saw the sea and its islands, its monsters and its fishes, Leviathan and his domain and his abode and his caves, and the world which lay upon him, and his movements, and the destructions of the world on his account. I saw streams and the rising of their waters, and their pathways. I saw the Garden of Eden and its fruits, the source of the stream coming from it, and its trees and their blooms, and those who behave righteously. I saw their foods and blessedness. I saw there a great crowd, men and women and children, half of them on the right, half of them on the right side of the image, and half of them on the left side of the image. I said, Eternal, mighty one, what is this image of the creatures? He said to me, This is my will for those who exist in the divine world, and it pleased me, and then afterwards I commanded them through my word. Whatever I had determined was already planned beforehand in this image, and it stood before me. It was created, as you have seen. I said, Lord, mighty and eternal, who are the people in this image on this side and that? He said to me, those which are on the left side are the multitude of the peoples who have formerly been in existence, and which after you are destined, some for judgment and restoration, and others for vengeance and destruction at the end of the world. But those on the right side of the image are the people set apart for me from the peoples with Azazel. These are the ones whom I have ordained to be born from you and to be called my people. Now look again in the image, who it is who seduced Eve and at the fruit of the tree, and you will know the future, and what will happen to your descendants among the people at the end of the age. And I will tell you what you cannot understand, for you are well pleasing to me. And I will tell you what in my heart. I looked into the image, and my eyes ran to the side of the Garden of Eden. There I saw there a man who was frighteningly tall and wide, incomparable in aspect, embracing a woman, who likewise approximated to the aspect and shape of the man. They were standing under a tree of the Garden of Eden, and the fruit of this tree looked like a bunch of grapes of the vine. Behold, behind the tree was standing something that looked like a serpent, having hands and feet like a man's, and wings on its shoulders, 6 on the right side and 6 on the left. The ones who I had seen embracing were holding the grapes of the tree in their hands, and both were eating it. I said, who are these mutually embracing? Who is this who is between them? What is the fruit they are eating, mighty eternal one? He said, this is the human world. This is Adam, and this is their desire on the earth. This is Eve. The one who is between them represents ungodliness, their beginning on the way to perdition. That is Azazel. I said, Eternal, mighty one, why have you given him such power to destroy the generation of men on the earth? He said, they who wish to do evil, and how much I hated it in those who do it. Over them I gave him power, and to be loved by them. I answered and said, Eternal, mighty one, why have you willed it that evil would be desired by men, since you indeed are angry over that which was willed by you, at him who is doing what is unprofitable in your counsel? He said to me, being angry at the nations on your account, and on account of the people of your family who are to be separated after you, as you see in the image the burden of destiny that is laid upon them. And I will tell you the future of the last days. Look now at everything in the image. Excuse me for just a second. I keep saying water is good for the soul. I'm trying to stay hydrated. I be trying to read too fast. My mouth be getting dry. I looked and saw there I looked and saw there what was before me in creation. I saw Adam and Eve, and with them the cunning adversary, and Cain who acted lawlessly through the adversary, and the slaughtered Abel, and the destruction brought upon him through the lawless one. I saw there also impurity, and those who lust after it, and its pollution, and their jealousy, and the fire of their corruption in the lowest parts of the earth. There I saw their theft, and those who hurry after it, and the arrangement of their retribution, the judgment of the great judgment. There I saw naked men with their foreheads against each other, and their disgrace, and their passion which they had against each other, and their retribution. There I saw desire, and in her hand the head of every kind of lawlessness, and her scorn, and her waist assigned to perdition. There I saw there the likeness of the idol of jealousy, looking like the woodwork my father used to make, and its statue was of glittering bronze. In front of it was a man, and he worshipped it. In front of him was an altar, and upon it was a boy slain in the presence of the idol. I said to him, what is this idol? What is the altar? Who are they that are sacrificed? Who is the sacrificer? What is the temple which I see that is beautiful in art, and its beauty is like the glory that lies under your throne? He said, hear, Abraham, this which you see, the temple and beautiful altar, is my idea of the priesthood of my glorious name, in which dwells every single prayer of man, and the rise of kings and prophets, and whatever sacrifice I ordain to be offered to me among my people who are to come out of your generation. But the statue which you saw is my anger, by which the people who anger me are to proceed from me, for me from you. But the man whom you saw slaughtering is the one who enticed murderous sacrifices, which are a witness to me of the final judgment, even at the beginning of creation. I said, Eternal, mighty one, why have you established that it should be so, and then proclaimed the knowledge of it? He said, hear, O Abraham, understand what I say to you, and answer me as I question you. Why didn't your father Terah listen to your voice, and why did he not cease from the devilish idolatry until he perished, and his whole household with him? I said, Eternal, mighty one, it was entirely because he did not choose to listen to me, but I did not follow his actions. He said to me, hear, Abraham, as the counsel of your father is in him, and as your counsel is in you, so too the counsel of my will is in me, ready for the coming days, before you had knowledge of these, or can see with your eyes what is in the future, to see how those of your descendants will be. Look in the image. I looked and saw, behold, the image swayed, and from it emerged, on its left side, a heathen people. They pillaged those who were on the right side, men, women, and children. Some they slaughtered, others they kept with themselves. Behold, I saw them run towards them through four entrances, and they burned the temple, and they plundered the holy objects that were inside. I said, Eternal One, behold, the people that sprang from me, whom you accepted, the hordes of the heathen plunder, and some they kill, while others they treat as foreigners, and they have burned the temple, and they rob and destroy the beautiful things in it. Eternal Mighty One, if this be so, why have you torn my heart thus? Why should this be so? He said to me, Hear, Abraham, what you have seen will happen on account of your descendants who anger me by reason of the statue which you saw, and on account of the human slaughter in the image, through fanaticism in the temple. It will happen just as you saw it. I said, Eternal, Mighty One, may the works of evil made in ungodliness now pass by, but show me instead those who fulfilled the commandments, the righteous deeds. For you cannot do this. He said to me, the time of the righteous meets them first through the holiness flowing from kings and righteous rulers, whom I at first created in order from such to rule among them. But from these ones come men who care for their interests, as I have made known to you, and as you have seen. I answered and said, Mighty, eternal one, may your power be praised. Be favorable to my petition. For this have you brought me up here, and show me. As you have brought me up to your height, so make this known to me, your beloved one. Will what I saw happen to them for long? He showed me a multitude of his people, and said to me, on their account, through four issues, as you saw, I will be provoked by them, and my retribution for their deeds will happen. But in the fourth outgoing of 100 years and 1 hour of the age, the same is 100 years. It will be a misfortune among the heathen, but 1 hour in mercy and insults as among the heathen. I said, Eternal Mighty One, how long a time is an hour of the age? He said, I have ordained 12 years of this ungodly age to rule among the heathen and your descendants. And until the end of the times, it will happen as you saw. Consider this and look into the image. I looked and saw a man going out from the left side of the heathen, and many men, women, and children went away from the side of the heathen and worshipped him. While I looked, many came out from the right side, and some insulted that man, while some struck him. However, others worshipped him. I saw how they worshipped him. Azazel ran and worshipped him, and having kissed his face, he turned and stood behind him. I said, Eternal, Mighty One, who is the insulted and beaten man, who is worshipped by the heathen with Azazel? He answered, Hear, Abraham, the man whom you saw insulted and beaten and again worshipped, that is the relief granted by the heathen to the people who will proceed from you in the future, in this 12th hour of the age of ungodliness. But in the 12th year of my final age, I will set up this man from your generation, whom you saw issue from my people. All will follow him, and all who are called by me will join, even those who change their minds. Those who you saw emerge from the left side of the image, the meaning is that there will be many of the heathens who set their hopes upon him. And as for those whom you saw from your seed on the right side, some insulting and striking, others worshiping him, many of them will be offended at him. He, however, is testing those of your descendants who have worshipped him in that 12th hour of the end, with a view to shortening the age of ungodliness. Before the age of righteousness grows, my judgment will come upon the lawless heathen through the people of your descendants who have been separated from me, for me. In those times I will bring 10 plagues on all the earth's creatures, misfortune and disease and grief. This is what I will bring upon the generations of men that are on it, on account of the provocation and the corruption of his creatures, as they provoke me. Then the righteous men of your descendants will be left in the number which is kept secret by me, hurrying to the place prepared beforehand for them in the glory of my name, which you saw devastated in the image. They will live and be established through sacrifices and gifts of righteousness and truth in the age of the righteous, and will celebrate me continually. They will destroy those who have destroyed them, and will insult those who have insulted them. They will spit in the face of those who defamed them, scorned by me, while the righteous will see me full of joy, rejoicing with my people, and receiving those who return to me in repentance. See, Abraham, what you have seen, hear what you have heard, and take full knowledge of what you have come to know. Go to your heritage, and behold, I am with you forever. But while he was still speaking, I found myself upon the earth. I said, Eternal Mighty One, I am no longer in the glory I was on while on high, and I do not understand what my soul longed to understand. He said to me, I will tell you what you want to know, because you wanted to see the 10 plagues which I have prepared for the heathen, and have prepared beforehand at the passing over of the 12th hour of the earth. Hear what I divulge to you, as it will come to pass. The first is pain of great distress. The second, inferno of many cities. The third, destruction and plague of animals. The fourth, hunger of the whole world and of its people. The fifth, by destruction among its rulers. Destruction by earthquake and the sword. The sixth, multiplication of hail and snow. The seventh, the wild beasts will be their grave. The eighth, hunger and pestilence will alternate with their destruction. The ninth, punishment by the sword and flight in distress. The 10th, thunder and voices and destructive earthquake. Then I will sound then I will sound the trumpet in the air, and will send my chosen one, who has all my power in him, one measure. He will summon my despised people from the nations, and I will burn with fire those who have insulted them, and who have ruled among them in this age. I will give those who have mocked me to the scorn of the coming age. I have prepared them to be food for the fire of Hades, and for endless flight to and fro through the air in the underworld, beneath the earth, the body filled with worms. They will see the righteousness of the Creator on them, those who have chosen to do my will, and those who have openly kept my commandments, and they will rejoice over the downfall of the men who remain, who have followed the idols and their murders. They will petrify in the body of the evil worm Azazel, and be burnt with the fire of Azazel's tongue. I hoped that they would come to me, and not have loved and praised the foreign God, and not have adhered to him for whom they were not allotted, but instead they have forsaken the mighty Lord, or the mighty truth. Therefore, hear, Abraham, and behold, your seventh generation will go with you, and they will go out into a strange land, and they will enslave them, and entreat them as it were an hour of the age of ungodliness. But I will judge the nation whom they will serve. All right, so that was the apocalypse of Abraham in its entirety. And then, the name of this book is The Lost Books of the Bible, The Rejected Texts, Apocrypha, and Pseudopegripha. Just in case you want to read it on your own, you can download it on the Apple Bookstore, or you can go to I think the Google Bookstore and download it if you want to. I'm not sure where you can get it, like a hard copy of the book. But in my next video, I will do the apocalypse of Elijah. I mean, not the apocalypse of Elijah, but the apocalypse of Thomas. And I'm actually gonna start that video after I end this video. So I appreciate you guys for watching, tuning in. I appreciate you for your support. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, click that notification button. And until the next video, thank you guys for watching.